President Donald Trump was right. If we clean up our elections, the Democrats will never win again. Mike Lindell, who is now running to be the next governor of Minnesota, was just on Alex Jones' show. And ladies and gentlemen, what he exposed is shocking. Mike Lindell, as we all know, has been working to expose Dominion voting machines and election fraud all over the nation. He says that the Trump Department of Justice tapped him a few months ago, and they've been working together to expose election fraud all across the nation. And he goes on to say that the election fraud evidence that is about to be released in early January by the Trump administration will end the Democrat Party as we know it. Smash that thumbs up, subscribe, let's watch this.
What do you make of their best lineup being Kamala Harris saying she basically is going to run for president? I mean, she pulled.
By the way, Kamala Harris did say she's running for president in 28.
2% in the Democrat primaries, but they still just installed her, remember, with no votes. Talk about election fraud. Then you got psycho news scum over there. We've got Biden in public, can't even talk now. He literally just gibbers. It just seems so easy to beat these people. But because of the fraud and because of all their operatives, it's kind of a catch-22. What do you think?
I think this, if I was their marketer once again, and I know my license or my vehicle to steal is going to be gone. It will be gone by then. I'm telling you. If it's not, we've lost our country anyway. Okay. So if our election platforms are secure, if I'm them, I'm saying you got to get rid of all of them. You got to go for maybe some traditional, go a whole different direction with the traditional, but way back in the day, Democrat, that if there is any out there that would be in the middle here where we used to have normal politics, if there ever was such a thing, because if they put up any of them in a normal election, they're done. I mean, that's common sense. They're so far off common sense. I haven't seen any of them. It's like in disbelief. If you looked even 10 years ago or 20 years ago and said, look what you're going to have for the Democrat Party here, this far left, crazy, nonsensical things, I think of, but you know what, to take them and then all of a sudden they all change at the last minute. Oh, now I'm common sense. I wasn't part of that transvestite, transgender, and 3 bathrooms and men and women's sport. I wasn't part of that. They're not going to be able to deny it. So I think you'd have to have somebody completely, almost like a no-name.
And really quickly, before we continue, Michael Lindell is absolutely right. Democrats, with their crazy ideology, they cannot win elections without cheating. And now you see many of them flipping. Oh, I was never pro-trans and men and women's lockers. Yeah.
Because I think 90% of them have completely ruined themselves by.
I totally agree. If it wasn't for the election fraud, and I agree with Trump on the evidence, almost none of these blue states and cities, Democrats aren't winning there. It's only fraud.
No, that's its only fraud.
And like you guys said, when this gets taken out, with what's coming out, it's already been mitigated. It's game over for them. So what do? I mean, because they're bad people. They're not going to give up.
Right. No, they're not going to give up. I don't know what they'll do, but we do know this, Alex. We know this. My cyber guys and stuff. Remember, I got cast vote records half the country for 2020, and in 2022, almost one third of the country. We couldn't find a place with the cast vote records, which, by the way, a cast vote record, everybody, either shows computer manipulation or it doesn't. There's no in between. And that might not say the election was flipped, but there's no in between. Either they shows computer manipulation or not. We couldn't find any in the 2020 election, any county in the whole state or the whole country that wasn't manipulated. Okay. In the 2022 election, we did find some. Most of them were in Florida. In fact, I think all of them that we found were in Florida. There was no computer manipulation. And remember, DeSantis won Miami-Dade County by like 12 points. Hadn't even been won before. You're going, what? Well, my teams looked into this, and we took and went, wow. And the reason you had that big uptick is there was no computer manipulation. What we did, we took those numbers, everybody, and we extrapolated them. What if we finally had an example? What if over the whole United States, life without computers, and it was all paper, because remember, there was no computer manipulation. So if we did that, And Alex, the number came back 66% of this country was red. That means your purple places were red, your bright red were as red as could be. Your California was like maybe purple, you know what I mean? So these deep inner cities that you think are blue, no, they're purple. This country is 65% red, meaning we'll call it mega red, call it common sense red. That's what I would call it. And I believe the number's higher. So they have convinced us through brainwashing and election crime, they have convinced us that we're a 50-50 country, and 15% of this country, 15% that they're stealing, they've made us convinced that, oh, you know, we're still like this. No, we're not. People want good lives while we're here before we go to heaven. We want 65 to 70%.
And absolutely. And it's getting worse every day. People are totally turning on the Democrats. They're trying to get people to be mad at Trump. Things aren't happening quick enough. You'll throw him out, and we're throwing away our own victory. No, we complain about bad stuff because he's got people that he doesn't fully control. He hold his feet to the fire sometimes. But no, we don't throw this out. This is victory. If you ask Grok, or if you ask
Now, what did we just find out? That the Democrats have been lying. We know that Michael Lindell, as a patriot, has done a lot to expose election fraud and election crimes all across this nation for the last, since 2020. I watched the full 40-minute video, and it's up on Alex Jones' X. The Department of Justice has tapped Michael Lindell. They're working together to expose election fraud. And when Trump came out 3 nights ago at the White House Christmas party and said, we cut them all, we got truckloads of evidence, it's all going to come out, and all these people are going to be exposed. The evidence that Michael Lindell has discovered is also going to be released. Ladies and gentlemen, we are living in a very exciting time. We are about to see a mass exposure. Now, do I believe we're going to see mass arrests? No, I don't. I think we're going to see some arrests, but I don't think it's going to be mass arrests. But what I think is happening, the Lord is allowing this to happen so that the next generation, our kids who we are raising to be the next leaders and presidents and senators and congresspeople and city council and mayors, they are going to know. We should teach them about this, show this to them, and inspire them to change the world. This generation is going through this exposure period to prepare the next generation to be strong, principled, godly, powerful leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, God bless you. I love you. Have a great night.